What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and if you watch the channel, you would know that my number 2 go-to everyday carry firearm is the Springfield Armory Hellcat. And also you would know that I recently just got my P365 back and can't wait to run the numbers up on the round count through this thing. Can't wait to get it back out on the range. I definitely think this will be up there with the Hellcat. I do think they could be pretty interchangeable, but like I said, I got to put more rounds through it. But we're going to do a little comparison video, size-wise, what features they have, what I like about what. So let's get into it. Whenever I do a comparison video, I try to get the magazine and or base plate as close in round count as possible. So this is 12 plus 1, the SIG, and the Hellcat's 13 plus 1. That's the best way I can do it. I do have the 15 round mag for the Hellcat and stuff, but we're not going to be comparing that because I don't have that for the SIG. Anyways, let's start off with the comparison. P365 is on the right, Hellcat's on the left. So the Hellcat is 13 plus 1, and it is a little longer, so that makes sense. And I do have the Wilson Combat grip module on the right on the P365, which makes it a little wider. Also has this little flaring, which feels really good in the hand. It's a little wider, and they're pretty similar in width this way. Actually, the Wilson Combat's a little bit wider in this direction, but both feel really good. Let's start with the Hellcat. One thing I really like about the Hellcat is the grip and the grip angle. It is just perfect. If you add a little bit of texture by getting something like Handle It Edge Series grips or whatever like I have on here, you can use code SPN20 for 20% off. I promise it'll change your firearm overall. It feels really good in the hand. That's one thing I've always loved about the Hellcat. It just feels natural. It feels good. Now it has very light front and rear serrations, which have never been a problem. Some people have complained about it. It is optic ready. It does come with the U-notch white rear and that night sight front, which is great. I love the sights. I like these little pads right here. They feel really good. They're memory pads, you know, help you with placement, making sure your finger stays off the trigger and that your thumb goes here. It can also help fight recoil because there's a little indent. So you're almost pushing against that firearm, which is awesome for controlling that snappiness that people say the Hellcat has. Also comes with a rail. And this is the smallest firearm for round count. With a flush mag, it's 11 rounds, where with a flush mag with the P365, it's 10 rounds, 10 plus 1. Now, people complain about the trigger on the Hellcat. I love the trigger. I think it's a perfect defensive trigger. And if you train with this thing, it gets lighter over time. This thing has over 5,000 rounds through it, not a single issue. It's a little worn down, but that's what happens when you shoot. And I really enjoy this firearm. I actually enjoy shooting at the range. I don't mind snappiness. I like to learn to fight it. I don't like to just complain about it. I like to learn how to shoot it, how to handle that recoil, stuff like that. And I have shot these two back to back, although I only shot the SIG when it had the X grip on it, not the Wilson Combat. And to be honest, people were saying that the P365 looked more snappy from the video. The way it felt though was I just wasn't used to the P365. I was more used to the Hellcat. The Hellcat is snappier. It's not it's not some massive difference, but you do notice it from going one to the next, which I did in that video. Now the P365X, which is this version, 12 plus 1, has front and rear serrations, which are a little better than the Hellcat, but like I said, not a big deal. It is an optic ready in the version I got, and they were both $500, so I'll add that in too. Comes with awesome 3-dot night sights with that green outline. I did put the Wilson Combat frame on it, and this thing feels just perfect. It feels great. They both feel really good in these setups. You don't have to change out the frame, but I did because this is just ergonomic as can be. Now, the P365 does have a rail, but I hate the rail on the P365. I feel like it allows your thumb to just slide, and it's like this weird indent. It just feels not so natural to me, but I guess if it's your carry firearm, it would serve as a memory pad of some sort, unless you had a light on there as to keeping your finger off the trigger. Thumb fighting recoil, but you can't really fight it because it's sliding, but it is less recoil. So if that makes any sense to you guys. It's just a very clean, smooth firearm, and the trigger is great. I will say the P365 trigger is better than the Hellcat. By how much? Not much. They're just different is what it is. The P365 is your standard SIG trigger, whereas your Hellcat, they went a different route with this trigger versus all their other products. I like how this trigger is the flatter face over the curve, but like I said, the SIG trigger is just better. You notice when you're shooting the SIG that you don't yank the firearm as much with trigger pull, and obviously you can train to fight any of that. It's just easier to shoot the P365. Now, when I shot them back to back, I shot them dang near similar. The groupings were the exact same. I just trust the reliability of my Hellcat. I just trust it. I shot steel ammo, like 400 rounds of steel ammo through this thing during the pandemic, and not a single issue. And it was crap ammo. It was just terrible ammo. P365 has been known for having problems, but we're going to start over, fresh slate. I think this thing's going to be great, and I really look forward to putting a lot of rounds to this. Can you go wrong with either of them? No. Do a lot of firearms have problems? Yes. Did you get a good one? That's what you got to find out with training. Can you go wrong with either of them? No. But for right now, the Hellcat is still, it's going to be hard to beat, but we'll see. That's the point of comparing these, and that's the point of putting rounds to your firearms and learning what you like better. Thanks for watching.